First of all, I just gotta say, holy shit! My body is hella ready! Even if I have no body. Sorry, old habits die hard. Now, I may only have 2 remaining brain cells.
That is a bit of an overstatement.
True, but as I was trying to say, there's no battle for top spot. No, instead there is complete mutual agreement that this game is going to consume most of my available waking hours upon launch. That said, I wanted to emphasize to existing players from the beta and future players of launch that the TGA trailer is victim to time constraint. There was a lot of chaos in such a short time span, which can generate a lot of hype. However, this also brings a valid concern from some people that it may be an overload to the senses. There is definitely faster pacing within competitive play compared to other mecha games out there, but some footage was slightly sped up so that they could fit in the feature reveals within their allotted time. Additionally, anything you see pre-launch is subject to change, and I'm sure that there will be, at minimum, one more beta before its official launch. It just may not be an open beta. Before I add any other thoughts, let's take a quick look at a segment I extracted from the trailer to compare against. A couple of things that stood out to me was Welkin's spin to win animation and the glider mount. Unfortunately, in relation to the spin attack, we don't get the full animation. However, the initial windup does seem slower in the replicated footage. Additionally, you can see the mounting speed on the glider be much faster in the trailer. Again, gameplay may change between now and launch. Maybe the footage from each video was taken on different builds and this may be the new norm. I just don't suspect that to actually be the case. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and do a rewatch of the TGA trailer to see if there's anything I missed in my first live reaction. One thing I am excited about that I didn't comment on previously is the Bay Area navigation. They did tease in a previous interview that you'll be able to navigate with your pilot and see all of the mechs up close. I'm very excited to see Lumine in all of its glory after I get it all decked out and paint kitted and everything. A lot of the terrain here is unfamiliar to me from a previous beta, specifically the open beta, and there are some elements like this mech down here at the bottom that makes me feel like this is probably a part of the Mashmac mode, which is the Battle Royale style game mode. This is equipable weapons. The only thing that this may come about is again in the Mashmac mode. I don't suspect that this will be a case in the 3v3 or 6v6 arena modes. So we'll see what the future holds, but that is my suspicion. It's all going to be purely isolated to the Mashmac Battle Royale style mode. Then in relation to the PvPvE mode, which is the Mashmac mode, as I've been mentioning, they did comment that they are going to change how it's being implemented. In the previous betas, it was introduced as 6-man teams. However, they've decided to reduce it down to 3-man teams to follow that same Battle Royale style formula. So we'll see what kind of twists they may bring about. We'll see if they reduce the overall player count or if they just increase the number of teams to compensate that subtraction. The weaponized gliders. The first time I saw this in the live reaction, I was amazed at the combo. He's going to leap, hit an enemy, and then leap back onto the glider. In the heat of the moment, I didn't realize it was cinematic. I was like, what? This is something possible in gameplay? They really actually honestly had me hooked for a split second. Thinking about it afterwards, I'm like, oh, I'm a moron. In the previous beta, again with these boss modes, they had honestly lots and lots, but just basically too much health in my opinion. They were, you know, cool epic fights, but if they're going to be on a map with the PvPvE, you are absolutely susceptible to getting, you know, third-partied by an enemy when you're trying to defeat a large colossus such as this. We'll see what kind of changes they bring to the game mode in the future, but right now it does have me a little bit concerned just based off of historical gameplay. I think this could definitely be fun, but we'll just have to see what kind of tweaks they make based off of the feedback of the players. Now that sniper shot, that execution at the end, I know that there are actual executions for melee mechs. You know, it was always great to see a Welkin slam the axe down. Whether we're getting an actual execution style for snipers or basically ranged mechs in general, we'll see. That looks like it's probably going to be very cinematic and not actually a part of game functionality, but I may be entirely wrong. Again, I think it's just more visual eye candy for the future players. I'll go ahead and actually take one more look. I mean, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible, but I don't have high confidence that that's going to be a part of gameplay. All in all, I am very excited. I was thinking that this game was going to be released much later in the year, but the fact that it's coming out in spring has me giddy. I am absolutely loving the idea of this game coming sooner, and I hope to be able to, you know, get in there, get into the competitive scene. I'm legitimately at a loss for words. I was not prepared for this to come to us so soon. But to close out this overdue video, please check out the description for the game's official Discord, website, and Steam page. Last I was aware, this game is free to play, so ensure you've got the game wishlisted and be ready to go for launch.